Thank you very much. I think obviously it's not a good sign, and that is not what Ghanaians are or were expecting to hear. We can also not dispute the fact that the immediate past government had a lot of issues of corruption and nepotism and so many things that happened that clearly might have fed into us falling one down the previous ranking. It's not as if the 43% was good, but we have gone from bad to worse. So clearly, there are a whole lot of corruption issues in the previous administration. I believe it's one of the reasons why we lost the election. So that is where we are. It is not good for us, but I think that moving forward, something can be done for us to come or climb up and even enter into the 50. So I want to believe that the overall operation will cover all those, which is an issue to fight corruption and also state capture, will be taken seriously by the current government so that the outside world will see that Ghana is now in the position to fight corruption.
Well,
Yesterday, the president said Ghana is no longer a safe haven for corruption. So we want to believe that the president is serious about fighting corruption. What is happening is that you see that it's supposed to be a corruption perception index, and it has also been trending for a very long time, and you see that the trend is very steady. So for us to move from 47 down to 43, for it to stay for about 3 years and now move to 42, it tells all of us that the issue about fighting corruption is being lost, or the fight against corruption is being lost. And we saw it in the previous government. The issue there is corruption perception in there. So if every time we are hearing about corruption and we see the president of the day or the government does nothing about it, and rather we see the president coming to clear the people who are believed to have been involved in corruption, and you only see in our part of the country that more often than not, it is only the political opponents who do something wrong, and the current government and its members do nothing wrong in terms of corruption and corruption-related activities. So it is obvious that this is where we find ourselves. That is not to say that during John Mohammed's first term, there was no corruption. But we are just saying that during that time, John Mohammed left it somewhere. We expected an improvement 8 years down the line. So after 8 years, if we have slided so low up to 42, then what it means is that John Mohammed's first term, his worst performance, now his best performance, as you say, is Nanado's, his worst performance is Nanado's best performance, and now Nanado has even slided extra low going to 42. So that's why I'm just saying that yes, we cannot say that corruption was only prevalent during the NPP administration. There was in the NDC, but once Nanado took it up for 8 years, we wanted to have seen an improvement. And that is why after 4 years, John Mohammed should not slide down 42. We expect John Mohammed to enter into the 50 or be above 43, 44, 45, 46, 47%. So that is what I am simply saying is that the government of Nana Addo Dankwa did not do much about corruption. That is where we are. So that's why I'm saying that I'm trying to make reference to John Mahama. And I know you and I know John Mahama is 4 years in to serve as president. So in the 4 years, we are expected to see our corruption percentage index move up and not slide low. So we don't need 10 years to be able to slide upwards. And that's why I said that it is only unfortunate that every government comes and it is their political opponents who are corrupt and they themselves they are not corrupt. We don't need 10 years to do anything.
Okay.
A year can change the perception index. And that is why I am saying that with the aura, let's fight it with all the force at our command and make sure the right thing is done. If people are corrupt in John Mohammed's administration, those people, corruption must also be fought. And if it is done, if the corruption that it happens every year, it doesn't happen every 3 years. So if effort is being made, like the recommendations that the GII has also made, if you don't need 10 years to follow that kind of recommendation, all can be done in a year. So we expect that John Mahama should be able to fight. The 42 is not good for us, but that is what he has inherited. We should do everything possible to make sure that the index goes up so that Ghana will not be seen to be a corrupt country. And that can be done. So a year is enough to change the corruption perception index and not the 10 years as has taken us for us to slide this low. By the time we are 10 years, we should be in the 60s, we should even be in the 70s, but not to be wallowing within 40% for 10 years. I do not think that is good for us. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. The principle behind ORA is because our state institutions have failed. Why should the Lands Commission sit down for lands that belongs to the state, that are vested in the state, for those lands to be sold to the very same appointees of the government who are supposed to oversee the affairs of the state? So for me, ORA, if done very well and it is not a political witch hunt, will give us a great score when it comes to fighting corruption. We also have a situation whereby the office of the special prosecutor has been there. We are in this country when the OSP came out to say that it was Ankonan, because the very same government that fought through for us to have the office did not resource the OSP and did not support the OSP to do its work. We do not expect some of those things to happen in John Dramani Mohamed's administration. And that is why I am of the view that in a year, a lot of things can change and we can even move out of the 40s if we want to, because the state institutions and all that are not allowed to do their work should be allowed to do their work. We are in this country. When the Minerals Commission and then the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources came out to say that Wontumi as you don't have licenses to go into the forest to go and mine. What did we see? The president who appointed these same people came out publicly to say that Wontumi has not done any wrong. Immediately you do that, you weaken the institution. That is something we do not expect John Mahama to do. So that's why I'm just arguing that what you are seeing is a perception index. Perception, it may be true or it may not be true.
Okay.
This is a situation whereby the president comes and is clearing people every now and then having done something wrong or complicit in a matter. Then the perception of corruption goes up. And that is what it is. So it's not too much about people stealing money and stashing anywhere. But if there is a hint of money stolen and no action is being taken, then the perception of corruption continues to inch upwards. So in a year, that index can be worked on and it can go to a place where it will be appreciable. So for me, I think it is this 2025, something can be done so that by the time we enter 2026 and the 2025 index comes out, we will see a positive rating with respect to the percentage that Ghana will have. So that is, for me, is what should be done to make sure we fight the corruption. And with how John Dramani Mahama is going, I want to believe that he will continue, and no NDC appointee who is involved in corruption should be shouldered, because at the end of the day, it affects our corruption perception index as far as international rating is concerned. So in a year, it is very possible that that particular index can or should be turned upside down.